Hey y'all, it's Stacy. Welcome to the kitchen. Today I'm showing you one of those quick and easy recipes that just makes getting supper on the table just that, quick and easy. These sheet pan meals like this sheet pan lemon chicken, everything cooks together on one pan, making for easy prep and easy cleanup and a quick way to get food on the table. Let me show you just how easy it is. So I'm gonna start. In the title, it's lemon chicken, so we're gonna start with lemon. Now, I'm gonna use the juice of a lemon here. And what I like to do sometimes is to take your lemon and just kind of roll it on your cutting board like this. This just kind of breaks down some of those cell walls in there and helps you get a little more juice out of it. So we're gonna start by making our sauce. I'm gonna take half of this lemon and juice it right into a bowl here. Your lemon goes cut side down into the juicer, despite how it looks. All right, to this, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of honey. We want just a little sweetness in this. There we go. I'm going to add, this is about 2 cloves of fresh garlic that I've minced. I've got 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of, this is a whole grain mustard. You could use a whole grain, you could use a coarsely ground or a stone ground mustard. Just gives us a little sharpness in this dish. And I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And I'm just going to guess here, but you can certainly measure this. I'm going to whisk this together. And what's going to happen too is that mustard is going to help all this incorporate. All right, our sheet pan. So this is just your standard rimmed baking sheet. I'm going to spray this with a little non-stick cooking spray just to make cleanup a little bit easier. You could also certainly line this with some aluminum foil if you wanted to. The one thing I will say about that though is sometimes you won't get the nice golden brown color on your food that you roast when you put that aluminum foil there, but it does make cleaning up so much easier. All right, to our pan I'm going to add, this is about 1 pound of either like a baby or a bite-sized red potato. You could use yellow. What I did is these are about 1 inch and I just cut them in half. The thing that you want to keep in mind with these kinds of sheet pan meals is you want everything to be pretty uniformly sized so that everything cooks in the same amount of time. We want our chicken to get cooked all the way through at the same time that our potatoes are cooked all the way through. And so if there are specific instructions on a recipe for a sheet pan meal, you want to make sure that you follow those pretty closely. This is 1 pound of Brussels sprouts that I've washed and halved. I'm going to add to this about 2 additional tablespoons of olive oil. I'm just going to use my hands here and toss to coat this. This is just going to promote browning on our vegetables and our potatoes here and also help keep them from sticking to our pan. I always like to spread these out a little too so that everything cooks evenly, but also take some of these potatoes and put them cut side down so that they get that nice golden brown texture and color on there. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands. Okay, so when it comes to our chicken, the important thing to remember is just like our vegetables, we want it to be pretty uniform so that it all cooks in the same amount of time. Now you're gonna need about 1 pound of chicken. You can use a little bit more than that. This is actually about 2 pounds, but you're gonna need 4 chicken breasts that are about 1 inch thick. The problem is that the grocery store didn't have any of that size today, and I think it would probably be a little bit of a challenge to find some that are small enough where you're able to get 4 chicken breasts out of 1 pound. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna simply slice these in half so that these will all cook through evenly. And let me just show you how easy this is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn my chicken breast like this. I'm gonna put my hand right on the top, and you could certainly use gloves if you needed to. And I'm just gonna use my knife to slice horizontally through my chicken breast here, all the way to the end. And what I've done is I've given myself 2 chicken breasts that are about, or chicken breast pieces that are about 1 inch thick. These are gonna cook through a lot more evenly. and at the same time of our vegetables. All right, I'm gonna give my hands another wash. It's always important when we're dealing with chicken. We wanna make sure cleanliness is super important. Also, when I'm working with chicken, I typically like to do that on a plastic board because it's much easier to sanitize a plastic board than it is my wooden cutting board, say that I cut my vegetables and potatoes in. Okay, so let's do this. Let's season our vegetables here. A little salt, a little pepper. I'm going to do the same thing with our chicken. But this time I'm going to use some tongs to move the chicken around. That way I don't have to wash my hands again. If I can figure out how the tongs work. Salt, pepper, both sides. Give this a turn. And also, if you see chefs season from up high, it's because you're much more evenly seasoning when you season up high. Yeah, it makes a little bit of a mess, but your seasoning is going to be much more evenly distributed on whatever it is that you're seasoning when you do it from up high. All right, so I'm going to take our lemon mustard mixture here. I'm going to drizzle about half of this right over the top of our vegetables. And then I'm going to just stir these around a little just to kind of get them coated in that sauce. All right, and then I'm going to make 4 little spaces on our pan here for our chicken so that our chicken makes contact with our pan. Then we're going to just place our chicken right on the pan here. We can move things around a little if we need to. And then the rest of our lemon sauce here is going to go right on top of our chicken. All right, this is going to go in our oven that's preheated to 400 degrees. It's going to bake for about 25 minutes or until our potatoes and our vegetables are tender and our chicken is cooked all the way through. If you're using a meat thermometer, which I certainly recommend that you do, you want to make sure that chicken is 165 degrees. So this has been in the oven for about 25 minutes. And you can see that our chicken is cooked through. What we're going to do is, just to get a little more lemon flavor here, I've got this other half of lemon. I'm going to squeeze this right over the top while it's still warm. Just gives us a little more lemon flavor. And there you go. Supper's ready. Folks, you can find this super easy recipe that literally took me about 30 minutes to make, beginning to end. Head over to the website, southernbite.com, and just search for sheet pan lemon chicken. Y'all enjoy.